Welcome to my channel, guys. All Things Deep. It is 2022. My channel is called All Things Deep, so I think that's what I'm going to do. This topic today is going to be like a story time, and I'm going to touch on a couple of things in this video. I'm going to touch on the whole soulmate twin flame journey, or just give my thoughts on that because it really ties into this story I'm about to tell. I want to touch on toxicity, toxic behaviors, and toxic people, and how they play a major role in your life. And then I just want to talk about, I'm wrapping it all up in this story time. So it's not like I'm talking about these individually. It's all in one story. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because I want to help someone out there who may feel like they with their soulmate, or their soulmate is with someone else, or their twin flame is with someone else, or they're with a twin flame but they really toxic. Like, look, I'm just going to tell this story. I'm going to be vulnerable right now. I'm going to go deep without going too deep. I'm going to be personal without being too personal, because this is the internet. So, even though this is a past situation, years, a few years ago, you still want to be careful with what you're putting on the internet. But I do want to just tell my story, so it may help someone else figure out what type of situation they're in and what type of situation they are dealing with. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. It's time to get this, time to get this show on the road. I got plenty of content that I'm going to be putting out this year. I'm going to be dropping a video every week. But let's get back to the topic at hand. This is a story time. This is a story time about a relationship that I was in, right? I was in a relationship. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this story, because I wasn't even in a relationship. Let's rewind that back. I was in a situationship, because me and this person, we never made it official, right? So I met this person. When I met this person, I was not on my conscious journey yet. I was not on my awakening journey yet. I wasn't there yet, right? But when I met this person, you could say I met him at a low vibration, even though I feel like my energy has always been high vibrational, but I was unaware of a lot of things, right? So I met this person, and I had like a magnetic pull to this person. And it was like, it's some shit you can't explain. Some experiences cannot be explained, only felt, only experienced, right? So I met him. We formed a bond instantly. Now, we formed a bond super fast, super quick. That's a red flag to me now. Someone trying to move super fast with you can possibly be a red flag. Anyway, moving forward. So I'm dealing with this person, over a few years. Like, I wasn't in a place where I wanted to be in a relationship yet. So I was just doing whatever. And not whatever like that, but you get what I'm saying. Plenty of people done mess with people that it was just a situationship. It wasn't a relationship, but you acted like it sometimes. You went out. He took me on trips. We went out to dinner, did things like that, but wasn't official. So to make a very long story short, I ended up having a spiritual awakening while I was still in this situationship. And once that happened, like, I'm looking at this whole situation totally different. So anyway, as I'm awakening, and I was awakening on I had some whole other stuff going on in my life, which sparked my consciousness journey, ascension, awaken, whatever you want to call it, ascension. So once that happened, I started noticing a lot of things about the person I was in a situationship with, and I was just like, yeah. And I kind of knew that something was off with this person, but but I just put up with it. Let's just be honest. I just was putting up with it, and I knew someone right about it. But then when when my conscience clicked on, I really got to investigating, and I cannot say if he was a covert narcissist for sure, but he definitely had the traits. So I experienced a whole lot of gaslighting, a whole lot of manipulation, a whole lot of mind games. And that's another reason why I stayed in a situationship, because I kind of did hope it could go somewhere. And when people play mind games with you, they allude to something like that. Like, I believe when I first met him, he was like, "You can be my wife one day." This is like in the first beginning stages, right? And you don't think nothing about it, but psychologically, that's like a manipulation tactic, especially if he didn't mean it, right? So, I'm awake now. Now I'm just going back to the story. I was awakened, right? So I was looking at him like real side eye, and doing my research at the same time. Um, and us women, we do leave emotionally before we actually leave physically. So it had got to a point I had left him emotionally. I'm like, yeah, this is a dead situation. But I had to do my research on why I attracted this man to me, and what was the purpose, and was he my soulmate? Why did I feel such a strong attraction to him like this, and a strong pull, like, and I can't even describe it. So I did my research or whatever, and I think it's quite possible that someone like that could actually be a soulmate. But you got to understand, some people come into your life for a season and a reason. So I believe he came into my life to be a catalyst to push me further up on my ascension and to prepare me for what was to come. So I needed him to come into my life and show me. He was a mirror to me, right? That's why I felt like he was a soulmate too, because I felt like I was his mirror and he was my mirror, right? So he was showing me things that I did not like about myself, and I was definitely showing him things he didn't like about himself. Um, so my self-love, my self-worth, my self-respect was not there. Like, I needed that situation to come in and to really show me myself. So I do believe that even though he may or may not be a covert narcissist, he came into my life and he served a purpose. Even though we had a strong connection, this is how you know if you're dealing with a true, well, I feel like soulmates may just come in and have this pull on you so they can have an impact on you. Because someone you don't like that, it's not going to have the same effect as someone you actually feel like you loved. Because I did feel like I loved him. I did feel like he was like a soulmate, right? But I feel like it got to be that strong for them to have a real impact on you. So I kind of lost where I was. So yeah, I felt like he was like someone who was meant to come into my life. And I learned a lot about myself. A lot. And I am a different person. And I've been celibate ever since I got out of that situationship. So in April, it will be 3 years for me, no sex. April the 19th, to be specific, it will be 3 years, no sex. Because that situationship, I mean, when I say it woke me up, it woke me up. And there's some other things that I learned about myself. I learned that I'm a beautiful person. I learned that I can love people unconditionally. Like, that relationship, not only did it show me the things I needed to work on in the shadow side of myself, it showed me how beautiful I was as a person, right? So my purpose of this, you can have a strong magnetic attraction with someone who was only meant to come into your life to teach you. And I want somebody out there to hear that. Because one thing I can say about him, our purpose was not aligned. We as I got to know him deeper, and look, if you're a covert narcissist, I'm not saying he was a covert narcissist, but narcissists, they don't let you know too much about them. So it was kind of shallow now that I think back. He would go in sometimes and tell me something, but yeah, I'm gonna make another video about how I survived someone who possibly was a narcissist, a covert narcissist. So I am gonna do a video on that, so stay tuned if you're interested in that. But again, I lost where I was. But basically, he came in and he taught me a lot, and I'm forever grateful for him. Narcissist or no narcissist, I'm grateful for him, because I would not be where I am now. And I wouldn't know how beautiful I truly am, because I really feel like I pierced his soul if he was a covert narcissist. Because the way he used to look at me is just like, I know I had an effect on him. And he used to say certain things that stood out to me. And one of the things he said, was you healed me, because he was kind of sick and I was over there, being all nurturing, and and he just, at the end of the day, he said I healed him, made him feel better, right? So you got to really know the energy that you possess, and you got to know who you're sharing that with. That's one of the main reasons why I am celibate to this day, abstinence to this day. So yeah, like when you, and then, in the spiritual community or I don't know, that whole twin flame and soulmate thing, you got to make sure, first and foremost, that your self-love, your self-respect, and all that is intact, so you can really know what you're dealing with. Because I feel like a person that's meant to be with you, first and foremost, you're not going to have to do any type of manipulation or anything to make this person try to be with you. I like when things happen naturally. And that's how I ended up with the covert narcissist. It happened naturally. Like, I didn't force it. I don't never force myself on a man. I don't chase a man. I don't even approach a man. I've never approached a man in my life. I just like organic situations. And it was organic when I met him. And that's how it should be. Like, but be careful. But as long as you got your self-love and self-respect and you value yourself, but I do feel like certain situations, you have to go through them. I can sit here and tell you all day long to look for the red flags. I can tell you about toxic relationships, but really, until you actually been in one and been through the emotions, anybody can tell you anything on this internet. Some experiences you just have to go through and live out yourself. But the whole purpose of me sharing this is because, if you feel that you're with a soulmate or a twin flame, if the relationship is toxic, it's not it. Because soulmates and twin flames, especially a twin flame journey, that's supposed to be like a spiritual journey. And you guys are supposed to come together and do something very powerful in the world, right? If you did your research on it. And soulmates, they possibly just come into your life to teach you something. So you got to really know what you're dealing with. And make sure you're not compromising yourself. Because people will manipulate you. It's people out here that learn about this stuff. And let me tell you something about narcissists. They getting real clever. Because back in the day, narcissists been around since forever. But now that we're living in a different era of time, they're being exposed more and more and more. So they getting clever, and they're learning all of this stuff to be manipulative. They learning you to be manipulative. They learn about spirituality. They learn about certain things, and they manipulate the situation. So they come off as if they come off as so loving, caring. You think they all of this until that's another video for another day. I'm just letting people know, if you feel like you're in a twin flame or a soulmate relationship, if it's toxic, if it's not pushing you towards a common, goal, purpose, mission, then you should really evaluate it. And yeah, I'm being very vulnerable and very deep on this video, but somebody out there need to hear this, because I needed to hear it, because this really needs a part 2, but it's too fresh for me to even speak on it. But just be careful, because some people come into your life, it may feel like they're your soulmate, but they may just be there to teach you something. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Dropping a video every week. This channel is all about self-development, your spiritual journey, or just your journey through life. I'm here to help the best way I can, because I've been through a lot of situations, and I actually learned my lessons, and I actually can help other people to understand. You have to learn your lessons in order to evolve, or you're going to repeat the cycle. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with another video very soon.